Section 312. In order to ensure that all attendees can hear clearly, your audio may be muted. When you wish to speak, you can raise your hand in the participant list or by submitting a chat request, or if you called in by pressing *9. Once acknowledged by the chair, please clearly state your name and then proceed with your comment or question. Please remember that when unmuted, all participants can hear any sound in your environment. Again, this meeting is being recorded. So first up on the agenda, modifications and changes. Does anybody have any modifications or changes to tonight's agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on to public comment. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to speak tonight?
Seeing no hands raised, Sam.
And all right, let's move on to review and approval for minutes January 26, 2021. Everybody had a chance to look those minutes over? And if there were no errors or omissions, I'll hear a motion to accept the minutes.
I made the motion to accept the minutes.
Leonard with the first. Do I have a second?
Second.
Cindy with the second. All those in favor say aye.
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 All right, it's unanimous. Okay, now we have Enosburg Historical Society request for Historic Preservation Grant Trust application. Good evening, Cindy.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Sure can.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I sent a little note from myself over there with a little sample letter of what we'd be looking for or what the grant people are looking for regarding the lease. So I think everybody's probably had a chance to look at it. Do you have any questions?
I can maybe summarize that a little bit if board members haven't looked at the memo from Cindy and the draft letter that she put in there. So she went to the Preservation Trust, which is not part of the state. Just for clarification, the trust is a private nonprofit organization that works on preserving old historic properties across Vermont, but not part of the state government. Just to clarify that. And Preservation Trust told Cindy that in lieu of having a 10-year lease agreement on the building, they would accept a letter from the village stating that the village would consider entering into a long-term 10-year lease agreement once the current lease expires, and that if the village would agree to send a letter to that effect, that they would accept a grant application from the Enosburg Historical Society to the Preservation Trust to help restore the roof on the Freight House building. So that's in a summary, that's what Cindy's memo to the board says, and then she included a draft letter that she put together that makes that statement to the trust, which if the board is in favor of doing this, if it's your pleasure, I could sign and send back to Cindy, and then she could include that as part of the Historic Society's grant application.
Jonathan, do you want to read that? I don't actually have mine with me. Well, it's on the computer.
We have it in our packets.
Okay, so everybody, it's pretty simple, very, very simple. Just saying that you'll consider talking to us when the lease is over. I mean, if they give us a grant, they want to know, or they originally, oh, there it is right there. They wanted to know that, we had at least 10 years, but seeing how we're halfway through, that means we only have 5 years. And they just want to know, like it says here, that you'll just be willing to have a conversation with us about signing another lease. There's no commitment from you. It's kind of weak, actually, but they were happy with that. And then we can do the letter of interest and the application and attach this, and hopefully we'll be invited to put in a full grant to them.
I might make some edits to the draft, if that's okay with you, Cindy. But
Oh,
you know,
yes.
it basically says what you need it to say. I don't see any issues with this. As Cindy had said, it really doesn't commit the village to anything. It just says that we would consider entering into a longer term 10-year lease at the conclusion of the current lease. So there's really still no commitment there. It just says, we'll consider it. So
Yeah,
I
I
motion
just,
to approve sending the
oops,
letter.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, I am just writing the letter of interest right now. And I just mentioned that this is our third, isn't this our third lease? Because they started in 1995. So there is a history of a continuation. And because of all the stipulations on the land lease and the, the ownership, I think it's in everybody's best interest to continue with what we're doing. And if they're kind enough to let us apply for a grant and we're awarded a grant, it's really going to help out the, everybody.
Yeah, I don't see an issue at all.
I second the motion.
Okay, so we have Jason for first and Cindy with a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. All right, unanimous. And should we send that directly to Preservation Trust or just give you a copy?
I'm going to have to upload it with my letter of interest and the application that is online. So just get it over to me one way or another. And thank you so much for your time and have a good meeting.
No problem. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay. Now we have general fund debt retirement proposal.
So the board has in its packet a memo from me that details the information you're looking for concerning some early debt service retirement as an option for using some of the general fund reserve and water department fund reserve. We've targeted the Community National Bank loan number 8850, which has an outstanding balance of $70,550.34. This would require a payment of $17,667.65 from the general fund. Of that payment, $13,690.23 would come from fund reserves. The remainder was a scheduled payment in the 2021 budget. $52,882.69 would come from the water fund, and $40,950.42 of that would be from the fund reserve for the water fund. As of 12/31/2020, the general fund had a unrestricted reserve balance of $200,015, and the water fund had a unrestricted reserve cash balance of $237,005. The interest that would be saved by this early debt retirement is $8,054.86, and it would cost the village approximately $650 in lost interest earnings over the 5-year period that this loan has been retired early. So it's staff's recommendation that the board consider this action with some reserve funds, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you've got.
I think this looks like a solid plan, and the water fund will be plenty healthy, even with that loan payoff.
Correct.
Great.
It'll be just shy of $200,000 still in unrestricted cash reserves.
Perfect. Overall, we're saving $8,000. Well, $773.50.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a plan. What does the board?
We need a motion on that,
Please.
and that would be a motion for debt retirement.
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, Cindy had the first motion, Leonard with the second. All those in favor of retiring some debt, say aye.
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 Those opposed, nay. Alrighty. Another agenda item off the list.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Matt. Okay, up next we have manager's report.
Great, thank you, Sam. First, I want to let the board know that the warning and notice has been printed in the St. Albans Messenger, also in the County Courier. It'll be in each newspaper 4 times. They've also been posted on our website and physically posted along with the ballot and checklist. So I think we're in good shape with our notice requirements for our annual meeting coming up. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. As you guys know, things are going to be a little bit different this year. Not doing things from the floor, but doing them by Australian ballot. But I think we're in pretty good shape, and we've got everything properly warned and noticed. So just wanted to check in with you on that. Matt, you had something?
I would just share that as of this afternoon, I checked with village clerk, and we've received 9 requests so far for absentee ballots. We've received them both via phone and via the website, so I think all of our channels are reaching folks.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Thought I'd just touch base real quickly on the legislature and electric utility issues. As the Board of Trustees are aware, the legislative session is in full swing now. And once again, committees are discussing a number of policies and topics that could potentially affect electric utilities in Vermont. These include renewable energy requirements, broadband, and also utility arrearages that have accumulated with customers since the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Scott's proposed budget includes significant funding for solar and also for weatherization programs. So we'll see what happens with those. It's still, far too early to predict what new legislation will actually pass this year. However, Vermont Public Power Supply Authority staff is working on its members' behalf. As you guys know, we are a member of VEPSA. And they're working to keep our views and perspectives and positions on these issues in front of legislators and also in front of state staff as well, like Department for Public Service and the Public Utility Commission. So it's going to be a little odd in the legislature again this year. I'm sure you guys realize with the COVID-19 pandemic stronger than ever. This should indeed prove to be a very long and probably tense legislative session this year. And we'll keep you guys posted when relevant items come up in the legislature that could impact our municipality and our utilities. Next, I wanted to just pass on a little piece of information for you guys. So attached to the manager's report, you'll see a page from the newest electric rate comparisons that were done by Vermont Public Power Supply Authority of all electric utilities in Vermont. And you'll see this page is specific to residential rates of 600 kilowatt hours, which is a common benchmark that's used for comparisons in the electric utility field. And as you can see, even with the rate increase Enosburg Falls had last year, we're still almost right in the middle of the pack if you look at us from a statewide comparison. So out of 16 electric utilities in the state of Vermont, we're the 9th lowest. So that means there are 8 utilities with lower rates in this category and 7 utilities that have higher rates than Enosburg Falls. And I'll note in this comparison, as you can see, that the 3 largest electric utilities, which are Green Mountain Power, Vermont Electric Co-op, and Washington Electric Co-op, all have significantly higher rates than Enosburg Falls. So I just thought this might be of interest to you guys, as our board, to see this comparison of a rate breakdown on a statewide level. And then lastly, I wanted to make you guys aware, again, I've attached information at the back of the manager's report. This is an award that we've been given from the Center for Disease Control, awarding the Village of Enosburg Falls Water Department with a 2019 Water Fluoridation Quality Award for achieving optimal levels of fluoride concentration for 12 consecutive months. So just wanted you guys to see this, and congratulations to Gary Denton, our Director of Public Works, and the rest of our...
Until the annual report comes out, is it?
I think I'm okay. You think I'm all right, John?
Yeah, go ahead. It's okay.
Those are going to be going off to the printer pretty soon, aren't they?
They are
Yeah.
off to the printer now.
Yeah.
Expect to have a proof on Thursday.
Yeah, they should be available to the public. I believe it's the 22nd.
Everybody see that all right?
Yep.
So we got some photos of the Doughboy fence replacement, some daffodils, the Christmas lights, the fence painting along the rail trail, the Gaga pit construction. This was a potluck with the volunteer group. These were folks who helped out with the butt litter cleanup in Lincoln Park. And the before and after photos is some of the painting work that they've done on the Masonic Temple.
Nice.
Looks nice.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to all the members of the community that not only helped with these projects, but also helped to gather up pictures and get them over to us, so we had something to put together.
Perfect. Looks good. All righty. Anybody else have anything? Or are we going to let Jason go get some cake?
I already had it.
Yesterday.
Okay. Well, if nobody's got any other business, we'll call it an early evening, and I'll hear a motion to adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
Jason with the first. Have a second.
A second.
Cindy with the second. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, nay. All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good
Recording
night.
stopped.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good
Good
night.
night.